Texas rolls into town behind star pitcher Tegan Caban, but number 5 Alabama has an ace-2 in Jocelyn Brisky, who's having the best season of her career. These two will go toe-to-toe in tonight's top 5 tussle in T-Town. You're watching college softball on the SEC Network. The eyes of the softball world are on Rhodes Stadium tonight for the start of what promises to be an epic series between top-ranked Texas and the number 5 Alabama Crimson Tide. And we welcome you to the booth here at Rhodes Stadium. Gray Robertson alongside the 3-time All-American Kaylee Tao. We're honored to be here calling this one for you tonight. And partner, I don't think it's hyperbole to say that this series is the biggest one in the sport this weekend.
What more could you want, Gray? We've got the number 1 team visiting the Rhodes House, got stars in the circle, stars at the plate. We've got it all.
Oh yeah, we've got big bopping duos on both sides as well. For Alabama, it's Brooke Wells and Alexis Papillo doing the damage.
It's Brooke Wells' first season in Tuscaloosa, coming over from Houston, and she has been making noise. She has the big bat in this lineup, and when you have a big bat, you need someone behind her to protect her. That's Alexis Papillo. She's been producing this season. Those two are a force to be reckoned with in the middle of this lineup.
And Texas has Reese Atwood and Katie Stewart, two of the most feared hitters in America.
If you're a fan of softball, you know the name Reese Atwood because of this swing right here. You put it on the plate and she absolutely crushes it. And this season, she's got Katie Stewart behind her to protect her, putting up numbers as well. We are gonna see a show with these bats this weekend.
And this is what they're doing combined, just video game numbers for these players.
The stats are filthy, well above 400. The home runs, you see the numbers, 31 and 27, and the RBIs just off the charts. These 4 have been producing this season, and that's what you need in a game like this, a series like this. You need your stars to show up.
And those stars for Texas in the 4 and 5 spot, Atwood and Stewart. Leading off is Caden Henry, one of the best at the top of the order anywhere in America. Beautiful evening for ball and a top 5 matchup at Rhodes. First pitch strike from Brisky, and we're off and running. And there is the junior out of Phoenix, Arizona, Jocelyn Brisky, who again is just putting together the best season of her career thus far.
She's just been doing awesome this season because she's pounding the zone, throwing about 75% strikes, and she splits the zone vertically. She can go up with her rise ball, down with her drop ball, and then fool you with her changeup. She has a lot of confidence this season. You can see it just exuding off her in the circle.
Here is Caden Henry, the junior out of Dickinson, Texas. Preseason All-SEC selection, second team All-League last year. How about this? Against ranked teams, Henry this season hitting .362, and in the last 5 games, hitting .438, and leads the conference with 15 doubles here this year.
Well, we talked about the big bats in the middle of the lineup, but Caden Henry also has those power numbers. You mentioned the 15 doubles, and she's key this weekend. If she can set the table, even get herself on second base, those RBI producers in the middle of the lineup are going to find themselves with a good opportunity.
Got her looking. Called strike 3 for Brisky, and that's her first tonight.
This is what Brisky has been doing all season long. She's going to work this drop ball on the inside corner. She's not afraid to throw it to lefties. They don't see that pitch a lot, and it just freezes Caden Henry.
That brings up Leanne Good, a golden ticket recipient for AUSL, senior out of San Antonio, Texas. Having a great season up in the 2 spot. Has struggled the last few games, though, trying to get back on track. Oh, 2. Over to Ambry Taylor at third. The freshman getting the start at the hot corner, and she makes the play for out number 2.
Shortstop, number 23, Viviana Martinez.
In steps Viviana Martinez. Great to see the Texas shortstop back after missing last year due to injury. Arizona native who's having a great season and hitting over 500 in the last 5 games, including a big game against Texas A&M where she went 4 for 4. That's smoked out towards center field, and Martinez has given Texas the lead. Solo homer for Vivi, and the Longhorns draw first blood.
Martinez says 2 outs, so what in the first inning. She puts a good swing on an inside drop ball, absolutely textbook, and sends it right over center field wall. You could tell she was committed to that pitch. She was looking for it. It's exactly how you have to approach a pitcher like Brisky. Martinez statement to start this game.
3rd home run of the year and 3rd home run of the last 6 games for Viviana Martinez. And now Brisky has to face the All-American Reese Atwood, 2-time first-team All-American, senior out of Sandia, Texas, another golden ticket recipient. Patrick Murphy told us pregame the key for Brisky, keep it in the yard, but if Texas does hit a home run, make sure it's just a solo and bounce back quickly.
When you look at this Texas lineup, though, and you have to bounce back against one of the best hitters in the country in Reese Atwood, and that's the task this weekend. It's, if you don't want to go after one hitter, the next hitter behind is just as good. It's the nature of a top 5 matchup.
And a good sign for Texas, 24-0 this year when scoring first after that Martinez solo shot. Atwood out towards center field. The park will hold this one. And the catch is made by Vandegrift to retire the side, but Texas throws the first jab with Martinez.
Martinez welcomes herself to Rhodes Stadium with a solo home run in the first inning. We'll see how Alabama answers when we come back.
The aces, Texas will turn to the junior out of West Des Moines, Iowa, a young lady who's already cemented herself as a Texas legend, Tegan Caban.
One of the best things about Tegan Caban is her experience. She's an upperclassman. She's thrown in a World Series and a national championship and won the national championship because of these pitches right here. She has a rise ball, a drop ball, and she'll work a nasty off speed that has movement to it as well. But again, it's that composure in the circle because of her experience in big games that she's going to use tonight facing number 5 Alabama.
And this lineup for Alabama head coach Patrick Murphy, Vandegrift leading off, and then there is the Wells-Papillo duo. Papillo hitting 500 this year with 3 home runs against ranked opposition. There you see Audrey Vandegrift, the native of Bogart, Georgia. 2nd team All-American last year, preseason All-Conference this season.
You see Caban already working heavy rise ball at the beginning of the game, really trying to figure out where is the zone. Is she going to get at the letters? That pitch right there, probably very sweet and going to get that a lot today. Exactly, goes back to it, same exact spot.
Chris Neighbors is our home plate umpire tonight. Stephen Gould at first, Marty Abazishan over at third. Top-notch crew for a top-notch series. Vandegrift comes up empty, and Kavan starts her outing with a K.
Kavan with 5 rise balls in a row to Audrey Vandegrift. And this spin is so tight and so good. Vandegrift still can't catch up on the 5th pitch. See there, 115 strikeouts, 4th in the SEC because of that tight spin, that tight movement, and the way she can throw that rise ball on different levels of the zone.
She went down in the zone. First pitch to Brooke Wells, the sophomore out of Round Rock, Texas, not far from Austin. Second year of college, transferred in from Houston. Top 10 in the SEC in batting average, home runs, OBP, and slugging. Got her looking. Kavan feeling it to kick things off for Texas.
And this is just textbook Tegan Kavan. She throws a rise ball pitch before it goes up. This one sits in the zone right on the outside corner. Brooke Wells doesn't know whether it's going to jump or stay, and that's why she ends up with the K looking. Great pitch, great frame.
Back-to-back strikeouts to start for Kavan. Now Alexis Papillo. First pitch is hit out towards center field. Henry's there, and it's a 1-2-3 frame for Kavan. Texas up 1-0 after 1 in Tuscaloosa. This 8th season in Austin and a 2022 World Series runner-up finish as an unseeded team. Finished runner-up in OKC in 2024 and then climbed the mountaintop in 2025. 3 trips to OKC and 3 attempts at it in the Champ Series, and finally getting that title in 2025. And you know, we were talking to Coach White pregame about kind of maybe how that has or hasn't changed the way that he's operated this program, and they've done a lot in his 8 years.
Absolutely. I mean, they have the definition of Texas fight, and Mike White has been a staple at the World Series since his days at Oregon, and really just breaking through and finally winning that national championship last year. But I liked what he said when he said the best defense of a championship is offense. Their foot is on the gas this year. They're not satisfied with one. They want another one, and so they turn that page really quickly, ready to do it again this year.
One of the stars in OKC the last 2 years is this young lady, Katie Stewart. Bama was playing deep, and Lauren Johnson lays out for a magnificent catch.
It's this type of effort that you want to see in a game like this. Lauren Johnson gets a great read. You mentioned it. She's playing deep on the home run hitter, Katie Stewart, but she gets in very fast, lays out. Just a shoestring catch. Highlight reel from Lauren Johnson out in left field.
Sports Center worthy play by Lauren Johnson, and now Hannah Wells attacking early, fouls off the first pitch. This is one of the best freshmen in the country right here. The Texas native Hannah Wells, Week 7 Freshman of the Week in the conference, the National Gatorade Player of the Year in 2025. And we'll see her in the circle, I'm sure, at some point in this series, along with what she does in the box.
She can do it all on both sides of the ball, and Coach White was talking about her just being fearless, really coming in, ready to make her mark. And that's what you need whenever you have somebody who's going to play such a pivotal role as a freshman like she does, pitching and hitting.
And gets into the first row. 2-2. Over to Hawkins at short. 2 away.
Right fielder, number 7, Ashton Maloney.
Base is clear for the senior Ashton Maloney out of Liberty, Missouri. His even numbers a little down this year after setting the Texas single season hits record last year. Bloop towards left, and Johnson will let it drop. 2-out single for Ashton Maloney. Both Texas hits have come with 2 outs. And there's a base runner here in the second for the visitors.
Maloney does a good job of just poking that pitch out into left field, and I thought for a second we might see another diving play out of Lauren Johnson. But that's exactly what you want to see if you're Texas, starting to get production from the bottom of your lineup, setting the table for your stars up there at the top. Very, very good sign.
Strike one to the Arizona transfer, Kaya Altmaier, San Diego, California native. Second team All Big 12 with the Wildcats a season ago. And against Alabama last year was 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs. Altmaier towards center. Vandegrift will make the grab. Side retired. 2-out single does no harm, and we go to the bottom of the second here in Tuscaloosa. A 33-2 overall, 7-2 in the SEC. Third in the country in ERA, plus 204 run differential, entering tonight and won the first 3 SEC series for the first time since 2019. And a big reason why, Kaylee Tao, has been the influx of power this year, the dynamic pitching staff, and also this talented freshman class for Coach Murphy.
Absolutely. The transfers and the freshmen coming in, making some noise. Alabama with 2 new arms in the circle, and I feel like they've just made Jocelyn Brisky that much better. She's having the best season of her career, that 1.4 ERA, a big reason for a lot of the Alabama success. But that's Patrick Murphy to a T. He is able to get his team going at the right time, bring in the right pieces, whether it's transfers or freshmen, and really find what fits into his system. You see there the standings, Alabama third in the SEC right now. This series cannot be overstated with Texas sitting at the top and what it means as far as winning the conference going down the stretch in the regular season.
Yeah, I'm sure the Sooners are watching very closely to see what happens here this weekend in Tuscaloosa. Good year for Florida. Kind of surprising to see Tennessee as far down as they are, 7-5 in the league. Anna Roman has the first hit for Alabama tonight, and there's one of those freshmen for Patrick Murphy that gets the leadoff on here in the second.
Exactly, Ray. You talk about the exciting freshman. Anna Roman, one of those at the plate so far this year because of this. She's so aggressive on the right pitches in the zone. This time she comes up ready to hit, gets the pitch she wants, takes it right back up the middle, starts the Alabama offense in the second inning.
See what the call is for the senior Marley Giles. Big cut on the first pitch. Clanton, Alabama native, riding a 6-game reach base streak. And in the last 5 games, hitting .600 with 6 walks drawn.
Just seeing the ball super well right now. And I think that's why you're seeing her not get the bunt call so far, just because she is seeing the ball so well. And when you have hitters like that, you want to give them the chance to change the game with one swing.
Well, and it's been a steady improvement. Has dealt with injuries over the years, but healthy this season and having a career year in 2026. Stays alive. Beautiful change up from Kavan for the strikeout.
We haven't seen much of this off speed so far because she hasn't needed it, but it is filthy. You see this pitch, she just slows it down, comes over the top, and it falls off the table. Fools Marley Giles, nothing you can do about that one. Great stuff from Tegan Kavan.
3 Ks already. Ball 1 to the freshman Ambry Taylor out of Jasper, Alabama, has earned her way into this Crimson Tide lineup with 7 home runs. Earlier this season, the first player in Alabama history to have 2 pinch hit bombs in the same season.
We talked to Coach Murphy about her, and he said he was having a really good dilemma, which is she's a great pinch hitter. So you want to be able to have that person that you're pulling off the bench, but at the same time, when she has so much production, you want to put her in the lineup as well. And you can tell eventually he came all the way around and now finding herself in the starting lineup.
And this is exactly what we're talking about, taking advantage of chances, especially in the month of March.
9 extra base hits, 18 RBIs, and when you have somebody who's just using every opportunity that they can coming off the bench, it says so much about their prep and how invested they are in the game, wanting to make their way into the lineup, and Ambry Taylor paying off for her as a freshman.
That's a fair ball. Roman stays at second. A pair of freshman singles for Alabama, and the Tide is in business.
This is just battling from Ambry Taylor. She gets 2 strikes. Kavan with a rise ball, it's up in the zone, and Taylor just throws her hands at it, sends it down left field line. Alabama trying to get something going here. Salyn Hawkins coming up to the plate with 2 runners on.
Strike 1 to the junior out of Phoenix, Arizona, the Mississippi State transfer, 2nd year in Tuscaloosa. Hawkins has been steady. 364 average against ranked teams this year. 364 average in the last 5 games. 338 on the season. Over to third. Nichols will step on the bag, and a double play ends the inning. Just like that, it's the Texas defense that gets out of a jam.
Nichols just perfectly positioned over there at third base. She gets a hot shot, steps on it, stops the momentum for Alabama.
Is the best place to be in the sport of softball. Both of these programs have a national championship. The Texas Longhorns, the reigning natty champs. And it's April, so we can start talking resumes. And both of these teams in the RPI, Texas 1, Alabama 4, you look at the entire body of work so far, they're both in great positions. And this weekend serves as a chance to truly bolster those numbers and solidify an even better spot once we get to that seeding portion of the year, Kaylee.
Well, both teams don't stray away from playing hard schedules when it comes to non-conference, and then the SEC schedule is going to be very tough and boost your RPI no matter where you are in the conference. But you're right, Gray. It's weekends like these where you get the 1 and the 4. You get to see them show down in front of a crowd like this, and feels like a postseason matchup. It's these games that you pull on when you're going down the stretch and getting ready to go to the World Series as far as prep and what it's like to play in those type of environments.
Yeah, the SEC all over the top 10 in the RPI. And of course, last couple years, we've seen those top 10 RPI wins be a metric that the committee has specifically cited. First of 3 this weekend, J.C. Nichols, the freshman, fouls that one back. Change up, loop to left, and that's down. After some 2-out hits for Texas, it's a leadoff single here in the 3rd.
We're seeing some great hitting from the freshmen in this ballgame so far. Not doing too much with this pitch, but it's a changeup that's left elevated, and Nichols just dumping it out into left field, doing her job, finding herself on first base to set the table for the top of this lineup.
And the ever-dangerous Caden Henry. Marley Giles will call time and go have a word with Brisky.
Well, with Brisky and the defense, you know, where do you want to set up against a hitter like Caden Henry on the infield? Because, yes, she's got power, but she's also got speed, and it's different whenever you have a lefty up versus a righty. So I think everyone just getting on the same page, who's covering where, double play coverage, and things like that.
Nichols has great speed, too. She's top 10 in the SEC in stolen bases.
Del Brisky just being very fine with the location of these pitches, staying down with that drop ball, trying to roll a ground ball to her infield.
Now the 3-1 to Henry. Called strike, full count.
A good 3-1 location. Great frame by Marley Giles, getting the call.
Now Henry lifts that to left. Catch made by Lauren Johnson. And Nichols has to scoot back to first.
A nice at bat there by Brisky. She got behind in the count, which she hasn't found herself in that position very much so far this year, but able to work back. And you see Coach McMahon coming out to the circle, partly probably to talk about game plan going into this part of the lineup, where Leanne Good coming up, and then the home run hitter Vivi Martinez.
4th season in Tuscaloosa for Lance McMahon as the pitching coach, and I think we're already seeing through 2 1/3 innings, these Texas at-bats are so tough. They're the toughest team to strike out in the SEC, and they've been really good with both 2 strikes and 2 outs.
Absolutely. I mean, just showing why they're the #1 team in the country. It's so hard to get each hitter out you can tell they are fighting up there, and they have a plan. You know, that's how Brisky gets you, because she's so good up and down, and she's throwing it at 70 miles an hour. If you don't have a pitch you're going up there sitting on, then it's hard to decide and be successful up her. But Texas coming up with a plan and executing, and that's the difference between this program that's won a national championship, really setting themselves apart on both sides of the ball.
Ninth in the country in runs per game, 10th in batting average, 11th in slugging. No breaks against the Longhorns. Solly and Good ground out in the first inning. Trying to move the runner with Martinez on deck. Is she going to score the runner? Out towards right field, and Good has a 2-run bomb. Another homer for Texas. It's 3-0 in the third.
This is how good Leanne Good is. This is not a bad pitch. It's up, and she is just ready for it. Again, committed to the pitch that she knew she was going to see. Puts a good cut on it, hits it out over right center. Texas in command of this ball game early.
And now the first home run hitter, Viviana Martinez. And that solo shot in the first inning that really set the tone tonight. And now you can just feel the confidence brimming from that Texas dugout.
Absolutely. It felt like Brisky came into the game picking up where she left off, really cooking.
This is out towards center. Vandergriff will make the grab for out number 2.
And then Martinez puts a good swing on a pitch, and it really just gives everybody in the Texas dugout a deep breath. And now it feels like, again, it's their plan. They're coming up, whether it's drop ball or rise ball, picking whichever one they want. You could tell Leanne Good wanted a rise ball. And that's the difference between successful teams like Texas. It's not only picking your pitch, but being able to execute when you get it.
Well, if you want execution, this is the right person. Reese Atwood did fly out to center in the first. Texas all-time career home run leader. Just a few of the school records set by the senior Reese Atwood.
I think she's pretty good. Slugging percentage, .772, just insane. Home runs all over the record books for Texas.
Wells had a crack at it, but couldn't find it in foul ground. Yeah, I'd say AUSL made a good choice, giving Reese Atwood a golden ticket. Same with Leanne Good.
Absolutely. I mean, those two are no-brainers to bring into the pros and the future of the game. I mean, Reese Atwood on both sides of the ball. Last weekend, I mean, all over social media is her no-look pickoff at third, and her presence back there as well. She really has that mature presence that you want to see at the professional level.
She chases the change, side retired. But Texas again throws a big punch. Leanne Good, 2-run shot.
Leanne Good extending the lead on this rise ball. She puts 2 more on the board for Texas. It's 3-0 in the middle of the third.
A packed Rhodes House in Tuscaloosa, but sitting down as Texas has grabbed the momentum, 3-0 going to the bottom of the third, except for those gentlemen who are all painted up for Alabama softball out in the party deck. Longhorns added 2 more in the third. Leanne Good, a 2-run shot. Her 6th home run of the year, and now Alabama with 8-9-1 due up. And Kaylee, this feels like an inning where Alabama's got to find some sort of response just to calm things down a little bit here in this game.
It absolutely does. I mean, you want to assert yourself offensively, because 3-0, it feels pivotal, where if Texas comes in and scores a couple more runs, you're looking at potentially a run rule situation, or Alabama puts up a couple, and then just a tough ball game back and forth. I completely agree. Very important inning for the Alabama offense.
Iowa transfer Jenna Young, Battle of Iowa natives Tegan Cavan, spectacular so far. 3 strikeouts through 2 innings. Young went through a quiet stretch in SEC play, but last 5 games hitting .625 with 7 RBIs. Looking to start something for the Alabama offense. And now time called by Atwood to go have a word with Cavan.
Most likely just trying to get on the same page with her pitcher. She's got 2 strikes. Ask her what she's feeling comfortable with right now, what she wants to throw. This is the experience that we talked about with Atwood, and that's the relationship that comes from playing with your pitcher. Tegan Cavan, a junior, Atwood, a senior, really learning each other, knowing each other, and 2 pieces that Texas brought back from the national championship last year. So just big pieces for this defense and lots of experience between the 2 of them.
Yeah, how about that? Atwood has caught 88% of Cavan's career innings pitched. Ever reliable behind the dish.
It's so important just for your comfort in the circle to have the catcher that you can look at that can calm you down and really knows you. I mean, I would argue that Atwood knows Cavan as well as Cavan knows herself, right? And so she knows whenever to go out there and calm her down and exactly what she needs in any moment.
Well, 3-2 for Young. First full count for an Alabama batter. This was something Patrick Murphy mentioned. They worked a lot on winning full counts. Young continues to battle.
You can feel that urgency right now from Jenny Young, just battling. She knows the key to this at-bat and the key to setting the table.
See if this one stays in play. Nichols is there. 1 down. Well, this is game 1 of a series, and we'll have game 2 of the series tomorrow night over on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Coverage begins at 8:30 Eastern, 7:30 Central. Our friends and colleagues, Beth Mowens and Michelle Smith, in the house for the rest of the weekend. What promises to be a stellar matchup. Game 1 has gone the way of Texas so far. Lauren Johnson, a junior out of Franklin, Tennessee. Second Johnson sister to play for Patrick Murphy. Older sister Jenna was all SEC for the Crimson Tide. Backing up from short is Martinez, 2 away.
Cavan with a good location on these pitches. You can tell she's working her rise ball right under the hands of these hitters, dancing around the edges of the zone and getting them to pop up exactly what she wants.
Then we'll see how Alabama adjusts on the offensive side second time through. Here's Audrey Vandegrift. What do you think this offense needs to do different seeing Cavan again here in this game?
I think they need to use the Texas game plan. Set on one pitch and execute on it. Right now, it seems like they want the rise ball, but they're late on it, and they're fouling it off when it's in the zone.
Vandegrift right to Henry in center. Well struck, on time, but a 3-up, 3-down frame, and we go to the fourth in Tuscaloosa. Martinez and Good have hit the bombs. This is what Texas has done to get that 3-0 lead.
Viviana Martinez just coming up with a commanding swing, taking a drop ball out in the first inning, and then Leah Good extending the lead with a 2-run homer of her own. Texas very comfortable in this top 5 environment and feeling themselves right now.
5, 6, 7 due up against Brisky, starting off with Katie Stewart. And a first pitch ball to the, I feel safe saying this, future All-American here this year.
I have to agree with you on that one, Gray. The numbers just off the charts. The average, the slugging, I mean, I was looking at SEC stats this week, and everywhere you look, it's just Katie Stewart, Katie Stewart, Katie Stewart. You look at it from last season to this season, the average up 90 points, the slugging well up, and then the home runs already matched her numbers from a season ago. And again, you know, we talked about it in the open, but it's keys to success when you have a player like Reese Atwood, who has had so much success where teams can choose to not throw to her any longer. And we saw that some in the World Series, her getting intentionally walked, and it's who's going to step up behind her and make teams question walking Atwood. And that's been Katie Stewart this year.
Well, now Brisky walks Stewart. Crowd didn't love it, but a leadoff free pass here in the fourth.
Your attention, please. Entering the game, pitch run for Texas, number 4, Adea Wallace.
Adea Wallace, the junior out of Plano, Texas, will come in and run for Stewart.
Designated player number 13, Hannah Wells.
See what the freshman Hannah Wells conjures up.
See the defense for Alabama. Salyn Hawkins pulled over towards second base, looking for that double play opportunity. They're going to try to roll a ground ball. See Brisky keep it low in the zone.
We've already seen that work on the Texas side. Defensive positioning and a good pitch by Caban. Got a double play off of Hawkins.
Well, the key is everybody being on the same page. It's the pitch from Brisky. She needs to put it in the right location. Defense in the right location. Able to roll it up and seal it.
Ground out for Wells in the second. Changeup is out to left field. Wallace on her horse to third. Wells will slide in safely at second. And the Longhorns are cooking. 2 in scoring position with nobody out.
Wells just so strong at the plate. She's not fooled. She stays in her legs, and she's able to get enough of this to get it past Taylor at third and out into left field. And it's the speed of Wallace and the aggressiveness of Wells behind her, getting them both in scoring position. I love the aggression from the pinch runner. That's coming in and doing your job. She sees the ball down in left field, and she was going all the way, no hesitation, around second base.
Alyssa Sneed will come in and pinch run at second. Patrick Murphy out to chat with Brisky in what has now become what kind of feels like a game-deciding situation here. If you're Brisky, you've got to minimize the damage. If you can get out of it with nobody scoring, great, but Texas has an opportunity, you would think, to really bust this one open here in the fourth.
Yeah, and I think maybe one more hit here in this inning might be the end of the game for Brisky. Feels like at that point, getting out of hand, especially with the way that Tegan Cavan's pitching. You see Alabama with all hands on deck in the bullpen, ready to go.
So after a walk and a double, second and third for Ashton Maloney. First pitch out to center. Wallace will score. Sneed races for home. She's in safely, and Texas is up 5-0 here in the fourth.
The Texas offense came to play here tonight. Ashton Maloney takes that first pitch right back up the middle. You see the Alabama defense pulled in. They want a ground ball to make a play at home, and Maloney exploits that because she hits the ball hard past that infield, able to score 2 more runs for the Longhorns.
Maloney took second on the throw, and you were right on the money, partner. Patrick Murphy will bring in a new pitcher, the freshman Caitlin Palazzi, with Texas leading 5-0 here in the fourth. Jocelyn Brisky exits, and in comes the freshman righty out of the state of Michigan, Caitlin Palazzi, trying to get out of this sticky fourth inning.
Palazzi, very spinny. She's going to rely on her rise ball pretty heavily. Has quite a bit of experience already as a freshman, but her job coming into this game as the reliever is to keep the score the same. Her offense has a mountain to climb, but she wants to keep the score at 5-0 and give her offense a chance to get back in this one.
Texas with 5 runs off Jocelyn Brisky, the most she's allowed in a game this year. And it really feels, Kaylee, like that home run in the first inning we talked about with Coach White, but that seemed to truly set the tone, and Texas took advantage of some mistakes and also hit some good pitches off Brisky.
Absolutely. I mean, some of those pitches, not a bad spot. The drop ball to Martinez was in. It wasn't necessarily in enough, but you could feel the shift after that first inning home run, and Texas just keeping on pounding, and that's exactly what you want. You start the game loud, and you just keep your foot on the gas.
Kyle Altmaier bunts it foul. Fly out to center for the senior out of San Diego. And a lot of speed on second with Ashton Maloney. Slow roller, and it eats up Hawkins. Would have been a tough play anyway, but you can feel the snowball building here in the fourth inning.
Speed kills, and Altmaier has speed. You can tell the speed just putting pressure on Salem Hawkins. She does what she needs to do, comes in to get this ball, but can't field it cleanly. And that's just the pressure of the speed of the game, right? Things just starts to feel like everything's going wrong, and then you get a couple errors and feels very heavy out there on defense.
And we'll see what the plan is after the E6 charge to Salem Hawkins. 4th error of the year over at short. And it will be J.C. Nichols. Singleton scored in the 3rd. Pops up the bunt. And a gift for Alabama for the first out.
This is not what you want if you're Texas. You're starting to get a rally going, and things like that are just a rally killer. But on the other side, Alabama has to use that to get some momentum back, work their way out of this inning.
Yeah, this one definitely teetering right now with Henry up 0 for 2. Strikeout and a flyout, first time facing Palazzi. Over to 3rd, Taylor to 2nd for 1. The throw to 1st is not in time.
Embry Taylor gets this ball to her glove side, does what she needs to do, tries to turn a double play, but the speed of Caden Henry, no chance, but splits the runners. That's what you want to do. Now Alabama with 2 outs.
Leanne Good had the big swing in the 3rd, 2-run homer, her 6th of the year. And what's crazy about the stat line for Good, how about a .571 batting average this year in the 2 spot with runners in scoring position?
Well, she's a player that just doesn't get talked about enough because she's surrounded by stars, but she's a star in her own regard. I mean, that's why you saw her get drafted to the pros.
And they're going to tag out Henry before the run scores. Alabama executes on a 1st and 3rd play defensively to end the inning.
Alabama able to work out of a jam. You see Marley Giles coming out from behind the plate, and the defense getting Caden Henry before the run scores. Alabama trying to answer when we come back.
Nothing, but the Tide has 2, 3, 4 due up in the 4th. Wells, Papillo, and Roman. We saw Vandegrift on a hard flyout make the adjustment her 2nd time up. We'll see what the power alley portion can do, seeing Tegan Caban a 2nd time. Nichols at 3rd. 1 pitch, 1 out.
Well, you were asking when Alabama was up last inning about what adjustment they need to make against Tegan Caban, and I thought Audrey Vandegrift did exactly what I would say the adjustment needs to be. It's being on time for the pitch that you want and actually executing. I mean, there's a difference between knowing what you're going to get, getting what you want, and then actually executing on it.
Timeout called as Caban and Atwood have a word. First time we've seen Caban really fall behind here tonight.
Some non-competitive misses against Papillo. But again, the experience of Caban in the circle, calling time. She's going to create her own rhythm, her own tempo.
Alexis Papillo, senior out of Crystal Lake, Illinois, the Northern Iowa transfer. Entered the game hitting .500 this year against ranked teams with 10 RBIs and 3 homers. She smokes it up the middle. High quality at bat by Alexis Papillo, and Alabama's got a base runner with an out here in the fourth.
This is exactly what I mean by executing when you get the pitch that you want. Alexis Papillo finds herself in a hitter's count. It's 3-1. She's looking for the rise ball, and she's on time with it, hits it hard, sends it right back up the middle. That's the energy and the approach that Alabama needs at the plate.
Already a single tonight for Anna Roman. You say she didn't go.
I like that cut. You can tell she wants the rise ball. She's already got herself a hit. She's feeling confident, and that's a committed cut.
Beautiful. Kavan pulls the string 1-2.
And that's why you see Kavan come back with the changeup, because of that cut that Roman took on the rise ball. She's like, okay, you're going to come up swinging at my hard stuff. Watch this. Roman just battling on some good pitches. It's exactly what we've seen from her all year. She's not afraid to go toe-to-toe.
Are you considering going back to the changeup if you're Kavan right here?
Absolutely. I wouldn't take it in the zone. I put it right in the middle of her shin.
Just missed. Full count.
Really good location on this drop ball, especially 2-2 pitch. Reese Atwood, good frame, doesn't get the call.
Another 3-2 in this game, and Roman fights off the off speed. This crowd has been largely silent because of those Texas bats, but trying to energize number 5 Alabama here in the fourth. Stopped at third by Nichols. The throw to first is in time. What a play by the freshman at the hot corner for out number 2.
This is just a highlight play from Nichols at third. She goes to her forearm, knows she doesn't have the play at second base, comes up, makes a quick throw to first. That's making something out of nothing. Big stuff over there from the freshman.
One of the keys coming into this matchup was defense. Alabama entered in top 10, well inside the top 10 in fielding. Texas outside the top 100, but the Longhorns defense has been very up to the task so far tonight, making spectacular plays all over the infield.
That's what happens when you get a matchup like this between two teams of this caliber. They both rise to the occasion on both sides of the ball, and you could feel just a little extra from the Longhorns from the very jump of this game. They know how big it is to come into Rose Stadium and take a series. They're new to the SEC, but they're not new to the big stage in softball.
First pitch outside to Marley Giles. Strikeout victim in the second. with a runner on second. 1-1. Giles out to center. Murphy will send Papillo. The throw from Henry is not in time. Alabama's on the board. 5-1 Texas in the fourth.
Marley Giles comes up, battling, finally gets her barrel on a pitch over the heart of the plate. Does exactly what she's supposed to, sends it right back up the middle. Anything out in the green is going to score a runner in scoring position. And Alexis Papillo, the energy in this offense, she started that rally and she scores the first run of the game for the Crimson Tide.
Patrick Murphy said in the interview, keep watching. His team backed it up with a run, now looking for more with Ambry Taylor, who singled him to second. First time Alabama has answered Texas runs with a run of their own. Missed chances in the first and third. A run here in the fourth.
You were right earlier, Gray. It feels like this crowd, it's packed out tonight, and they are just waiting on something to get excited about. And that hit from Marley Giles, really the first time that it's felt like Alabama has woken up and been part of this game so far. And it's how do you keep that going? Next hitter up in the lineup, still keeping that energy and that momentum.
Expecting a packed house all three games. And Kavan answers after giving up the run, a strikeout to end the fourth. Alabama answers with one, and it's 5-1. Longhorns go into the fifth. What a moment last week in Austin on Saturday after Texas took on Texas A&M. Reese Atwood got a golden ticket. That was expected. Leanne Good, though, was stunned. Picked up a golden ticket along with her senior teammate, and two Horns are going to play in the AUSL here this upcoming summer. As we're at that time of year, the golden tickets are being given out. Nyjah Kennedy at Texas Tech, Sydney Stewart at Arizona, and earlier tonight, Carlin Pickens joined in on the fun. Tennessee pitcher has received a golden ticket as well. So 5 out, I believe 13 more still to be given. We'll see who receives them the rest of the way.
And what an exciting way to welcome some of these seniors into the pros. I mean, you see the content. Leanne Good, again, we're talking about her in the AUSL, and she hits her second home run of the game.
A solo bomb off the pole in center, and an immediate answer for the team that does it better than anyone else. Back to a 5-run lead here in the fifth.
I mean, this is how you respond if you're Texas. Alabama finally puts a run on the board. Leanne Good erases it with this solo home run off the pole, dead center, her second home run of the game. You can see a big reason why she's headed to the pros with that golden ticket. She knew we were talking about her. She had to show off.
Right on cue. One that also brings up again, a thing that we talked to Coach White about as Martinez faces Palazzi. You know, he called it an answer back inning. We call it the response stat when we track it. But Texas, with that answer, has now scored immediately after the opposition when given the chance. 30 out of 41 chances, well over 70%, which just doesn't allow the opponent to hang on to any momentum.
That's why they're continually successful in the postseason. It's a cultural thing and it's a confidence thing. When you take it personally that another team has scored on you, it doesn't matter if you're up 5 runs. Oh, you want to score 1 run? Well, we're going to put another one back on the board. That takes you very, very deep when it comes to super regionals, it comes to World Series, and it's just learning how to win, how to keep extending your lead, and Texas is so good at that so far this year.
I mean, typically when we track that stat, anything around 50% is really good. Elite is above 60%. Texas entered tonight over 72%. And now a walk drawn by Martinez. Another base runner for the Longhorns, bringing up the power duo of Atwood and Stewart.
Catcher number 14, Reese Atwood.
Oh for 2 night. And Katie Stewart awaits. Now pitching coach Lance McMahon will come out and have a word with Palazzi, who's starting to miss a little bit more here in this 5th inning.
And that's the nature of facing the top of this Texas lineup. It's you want to be super fine because you know if you make a mistake, the hitters are going to do something like Leanne Good and take it over center field, but then you dance around the zone too much and they've got a great eye and they're going to walk. So, you know, it's very difficult, and Palazzi young, so I think Coach McMahon just trying to settle her down and find out what she wants to throw and where she wants to throw it. But there's no easy way out when it comes to the Texas offense. No way out but through, and going through it can be tough.
First time Alabama has played a 3-game home series against the #1 team in the country since 2011, when #1 Georgia came to Rhodes to take on #2 Alabama. Texas has been all over it here in game 1. Big cut from Atwood, 2-2. Got her. Nice changeup by the freshman for the first out.
Second strikeout of the day to Reese Atwood. You see Palazzi set her up with that rise ball, change her eye level, and then she goes down in the zone with her changeup. Atwood with a swing and miss. And Palazzi does a nice job working out of that at bat and getting herself back on track.
To your point, though, you just can't take a breath with Katie Stewart in now. 0 for 1 with a walk to start the 4th inning. Her pinch runner came around to score. Kind of amazing what Stewart has done. 17 home runs on the year. 7 of those have come against ranked teams.
Palazzi nowhere near the zone on Katie Stewart.
3-1. And a full count. Change-up misses. A second walk here this inning, surrendered by Palazzi. And we'll see what Texas draws up for Hannah Wells. Glad you're with us here in Tuscaloosa at a packed road stadium. Nice weather. Wind has picked up a little bit more the last couple minutes. Gray Robertson and Kaylee Tao up here in the booth. First of 3 between these top 5 foes, and it's been all #1 Texas here in game 1. And looking for the dagger here in the 5th.
You look at the scoring across the board in this game. Texas 1 in the first, 2 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth. Just, you mentioned it, asserting their dominance, keeping their foot on the gas, not allowing Alabama to get any momentum, get their breath, and it's exactly what they do to teams and why they are sitting at the top of the rankings.
On the other aspect, too, 6 runs on 7 hits. 4 of those hits have been for extra bases, and 3 have left the yard. So Texas has been just cashing in on those extra base hits. Alabama, no extra base hits tonight. Wells, that hits the runner, and that's going to be an out. Tough break as that hard liner hit Martinez for out number 2.
Well, this is just unfortunate for the Texas rally. Wells almost hits it too hard. Martinez can't get out of the way of it. And a break for Alabama, because that was likely to be 1 run, maybe 2, if it got past the outfield.
Ashton Maloney facing Palazzi for the first time. 2 for 2 with a couple RBIs. Maloney, another player, as Giles tries for second, who's done her best work against ranked teams. You know, coming into this game tonight, hitting just over 300, but against ranked foes at 375, and that kind of is a testament to the experience that seniors like Maloney have in this lineup.
Well, that's one thing that I like to see, because I think it's a testament to a big-time player. Even if you're having a rough season, not the season that you wanted, it's games against big teams where your team needs you, and how are you going to respond and perform in those moments?
Two. Taylor to first. Side retired. Palazzi gets out of it, but Texas gets another homer from Leanne Good.
Leanne Good's second home run of the game. She is feeling herself today. It is all Longhorns through the middle of 5.
We called it the Battle of the Aces, and it's Texas's ace Tegan Cavan who's been red hot tonight.
Cavan just gets better in the pressure moments. That's why she's had so much success so far in her career. She's had her best stuff here tonight, and Alabama has had no answer. You see there her start versus Texas A&M. Gave up 6 earned runs, 11 hits. Much better here tonight, responding and bouncing back at the Rhodes House, finding herself in a good position late in this game, up 6-1.
Texas answered immediately in the top half of this inning. Now it's Alabama's turn. Bottom of the order due up. Hawkins hit into that double play in the second. That felt like an opportunity for the Crimson Tide, but the Texas defense was ready and made the play to end the jam. out off the foot, 1-2.
That never feels good.
Still have some bruises, partner?
Oh, yeah, I did not do that very much because I knew I've got to figure it out. I don't like hitting myself in the foot.
Well, the wind has yet again died here at Rhodes Stadium. Martinez to first, 1 down.
Second baseman, number 4, Jenny Young.
Jenny Young fouled out her first time up. It was a long battle with Caban.
Feels like with Tegan Caban, it's so hard for an offense to get rhythm off her and string things together. It's almost like you have to have those extra base hits or the home runs to score because she's able to come right back and shut things down. It feels like Alabama's had a hard time of getting those rhythmic innings that you want, where you're able to get a runner on, you're able to move her over, and then your RBI producers come up and score her. That's the Tegan Caban effect. You know, she's able to stop momentum like that, and it's hard to get things going, string things together.
Inside out to left. Altmaier will track it down, 2 away.
Left fielder, number 88, Lauren Johnson.
You know, the All-American Tegan Caban continues to motor right along. There have been a couple of innings where Alabama's gotten folks on base, but for the most part, it's looked a lot like this. Base is clear, 2 outs for Lauren Johnson.
And this is a good sign for Texas, too, the success that Tegan Caban's had tonight, because I guarantee this is not the last time that Alabama will see her in the circle this weekend.
Yeah, we saw some of Caban's best work in the Texas A&M series come in relief in Game 2. She's been outstanding coming out of the pen as well this year, not just as a starter.
Yeah, you could argue sometimes her appearances have been better in relief. And I'd say if Texas finds themselves up and needs a closer, she's going to be ready to go, especially with the performance she's putting together tonight.
Caban is cruising. Strikeout number 5 ends the 5th.
We've talked about how Tegan Caban's feeling herself. She does it right here with another strikeout. Texas will try to add to their lead on the other side.
Spectacular tonight. A couple home runs for Leanne Good, a home run as well for Viviana Martinez, 4 for 11 with runners on for Texas. Tough night for Jocelyn Brisky, a season high in earned runs allowed at the top of the order has not helped the cause. 1 for 6 for Alabama with a run scored, and we talked about the importance of this series for both teams. Texas 8-1 in the SEC, Alabama 7-2. And when you think about it, for the Tide, if you want to keep pace, this is almost a must-win series. You certainly don't want to be 2 games behind Texas and have the Longhorns have the tiebreaker.
Yeah, and when you have this opportunity to bring the top team in the conference to your home stadium, you want to take advantage of that, especially knowing that Texas and Oklahoma have been taking care of their business so far this season.
That's past a diving Young, and Altmaier will reach to start off the 6th. One of those curious might want to know that Oklahoma leads Kentucky 4-2 in the bottom of the 3rd. Katie Bennett, the senior out of Texas, the transfer from Abilene Christian in her 2nd year in Austin, will pinch hit. Hitting .313 on the year. Bunted, Taylor, the throw on the run is not in time, and Bennett executes.
Bennett just completely catching the freshman over at third, sleeping. She sees that Embry Taylor is back and lays down a perfect drag bunt. Does her job as the pinch hitter. It's exactly what you want from your 9-hole if you're Texas.
With 7 through 9 of a Texas order tonight is 5 for 9 with a couple RBIs.
Well, and when we talked before the game, Gray, about what the keys to the game would be, you mentioned the bottom of the lineup setting the table for the Stars in this game. That's exactly what it's been. When you get your bottom of the lineup going, the rhythm is just there, and the offense has been on pace the entire game.
Even with a hitless Caden Henry. That change missed a little high. But if you're Alabama, you've got an 0 for 3 night for Henry, an 0 for 3 night for Atwood. But everybody else has contributed for this Longhorns offense. Roller to second, there's the tag. Throw to first, not in time. And up comes the home run hitter, Leanne Good. She's hit a couple tonight.
She's having herself a night, taking a rise ball up at her eyes, over the wall, and then in the 5th inning, just taking this pitch right back where it came from, over that center field wall. Leanne Good making a statement, doing what she can to make sure her team leaves with the Game 1 win.
Screamer to right. Catch made by Roman, but that's certainly deep enough for Altmaier to score. And it's 7-1 Texas here in the 6th. And we should note Martinez, as she steps in, the run rule inducing run. If she sends one out, Alabama would be down to their final 3 outs unless they found a way to score in the home half. And Martinez already has a bomb. That was that solo shot that set the tone in the 1st inning. Martinez looking for the gap. That's off the wall. Henry races around third. The play at the plate is cut off. Texas up 8-1 as Martinez cashes in again.
Martinez takes this pitch about as far as you can in this ballpark without going out. Just a beautiful swing on the pitch over the heart of the plate into the left center gap. Allows another run to score for Texas. And the big bats have just shown up for the Longhorns. You can't say enough about how prepared they were coming into this game. You could tell from the jump they knew what they wanted, they knew what they were going after, and they're putting good swings on it from top to bottom in this lineup.
double for Martinez. Her 10th this year. Now 5 extra base hits for Texas in this game. And that run rule inducing run is at second base for Reese Atwood, who's had, on a night where the offense has been great, a frustrating evening. 0 for 3 with 2 Ks.
Yeah, Atwood probably hasn't had the night that she would want, but it doesn't matter when you got other players in this lineup, and that feels so good when you're a senior, you're a leader, and the nights that you don't show up, your teammates do.
Fair ball. Taylor throws to first, and we play on to the bottom of the 6th. Texas up 7, tied, looking for a big rally when we return. It's the fantastic junior Kavan out of Iowa. She has been absolutely spectacular. 5 strikeouts, got off to a great start with the Ks and found a couple to end the last few innings.
I mean, all the way around, this has just been the Texas show all night long. Alabama pretty hot coming into this series. They had a good off weekend last weekend, and these two teams talked about around the country this season, and Texas just showing why they are far and above #1 team in the country right now.
It's a big mountain to climb for Patrick Murphy's squad. But even if you don't come back and win, still an important last couple innings. 2 more games left in this series between these two.
And that's the approach. It's the momentum going into game 2 and game 3. Are they going to climb the mountain to win this game? Maybe, maybe not. But at the same time, it's how do you leave this game feeling? You don't want to leave on a run roll, put a couple more runs on the board, and get some momentum versus Kavan so that you're feeling good going into the rest of the weekend.
And it will be a late night tomorrow night, 8:30 Eastern on the SEC Network. Game 3 will be on ESPN on Saturday. This Thursday, Friday, Saturday matchup with Easter coming on Sunday. Vandegrift goes fishing and comes up empty. Strikeout number 6 for Kavan.
Just filthy stuff from Tegan Kavan. This is her off speed. It's not even anywhere near the zone, but it fools the All-American Audrey Vandegrift. Gets another strikeout tonight. When you're getting swings and misses like that on pitches way outside of the zone on a hitter like Audrey Vandegrift, you know your stuff is moving and you are feeling it.
Brooke Wells has only seen strikes tonight. And down 0-2. She struck out looking in the first, grounded out on the first pitch in the 4th. And she has been totally neutralized by Kavan here in game 1.
Well, Kavan's not giving Brooke Wells anything that she wants. Wells hasn't gotten a lot of rise balls, which I would guess is her game plan going into this game. Swing at the rise ball, hit the rise ball, elevate and celebrate, and Kavan's been giving her heavy dose of off speed and drop balls. It's a good 2-strike spot as well, up under the hands.
Rolled to Nichols, who's back in at third, 2 down.
Designated player, number 31, Alexis Pavel.
Single and a run for Papillo in the 4th. Fly out in the 1st. as Tegan Cavan keeps on trucking here against number 5 Alabama.
Just filthy stuff. That pitch moving up and away. Tough for a lefty to catch up to.
Off speed, sneaks through. And misplayed. Maloney didn't see it all the way in. And Papillo's in scoring position here in the 6th.
Papillo has her second hit of the night. She waits on an off speed, just scoots it through the 3-4 hole. And you said it, Gray, just misplayed out there in right field. A mental mistake leads to a physical mistake, and Alexis Papillo taking an extra base.
Single and an error, the first charge to Ashton Maloney this year. And you can see she's not thrilled. Again, the fielding percentage has been a bit of an issue for Texas this season, but Maloney has been a bright spot throughout her career. Mike White calls her one of the best right fielders, if not the best, in the entire country.
Well, it's just frustrating when you know what type of player you are and what level you play at, and you just take potentially one pitch off. You know, your team's up 8-1, and then make a mistake, and now you've got an error and a runner on second base. It's just taking pride in the way that you're approaching every single pitch, no matter what the score is.
See if Cavan can work her way out of it. Anna Roman singled in the 2nd, a ground out in the 4th. One, 2. Outside, 2-2. This is just Alabama's 3rd at bat tonight with a runner in scoring position. And Cavan is able to get out of it. The single and the error do no harm, and Cavan continues to cook in Tuscaloosa.
This is exactly how you have your teammates back. When she makes an error, you come back and get the strikeout and shut the door on the Alabama offense.
Five, 6, 7 due up for Texas as we go to the top of the 7th. Longhorns have been flexing all night. Number 1 looking the part in game 1 of this 3-game top 5 series. Texas 11 hits, 5 for extra bases, 6 hits with runners aboard. Alabama's had a few chances, but Tegan Cavan has made sure the Crimson Tide couldn't string anything together. And now with that big 7-run lead, Katie Stewart will look to start off Texas in style here in the 7th.
there's not much you can do whenever the #1 team comes and they're getting production from the bottom of their lineup. They're getting long balls. They've got a great performance from their ace in the circle. I mean, it's just been Longhorn show all night long.
Well, and if you're Alabama, again, we talked about it. Henry 0 for 4, Atwood 0 for 4. Stewart's reached twice on walks, but she's hitless. You know, you circle, so that's foul. Probably those 3 names in the Texas lineup as the ones that you have to really bear down against. And Alabama's, for the most part, done that, but everybody else in the Texas order has really, really made it hurt for the Crimson Tide pitching staff.
They have. I mean, they've capitalized at every corner in this game. But I think the bright spot for Alabama is that this isn't the team that we've seen shown up all season long with the 2 losses this season. I mean, this is very different energy, very different team. And so I think when you leave this game, the message is scrap that one. Who cares? We've got 2 more games this weekend. How are we going to show up? What identity are we going to have? And how are we going to respond?
Katie Stewart high in the sky. Katie Stewart way out of here. She wanted in on the fun. Home run number 18 makes it 9-1 Texas.
This is just pure power on display from Katie Stewart. I mean, this ball, effortless swing on a pitch on the inside half, way out, hit so high. And you're right, Gray. Katie Stewart just wanting in on the party, putting a great swing on a good pitch, extending the lead for Texas.
Yeah, Katie Stewart said, hey, that trio that you mentioned, we're not going to be hitless anymore tonight. And how about that? 44% of Stewart's hits this year have left the building. 18 home runs. That's already past the 17 she hit all of last year. Now Hannah Wells opposite way. That'll slice foul.
She's a threat to hit a home run anytime she's up at the plate, and that's why Alabama had been really fine with her the whole night, throwing her balls that she had 2 walks, and then, you know, you finally throw her something over the plate, and she's going to show you why you weren't going there in the first place.
A 4 home run night for the Texas offense against the team in the SEC that allowed the fewest home runs entering this game, the Alabama pitching staff. Change up, long run, and it's actually Young who makes it. She falls down in the outfield. 1 away. Summer of '83, Texas versus Tide is our next SEC story. It premieres Wednesday, April 15th at 8 Eastern, 7 Central over on the SEC Network and the ESPN app as it chronicles one of the most exciting Men's College World Series ever, highlighted by Texas's Roger Clemens and Alabama's Dave Magadan, as Ashton Maloney gets a 3rd hit tonight. That's about Texas baseball. Texas softball, the reigning national champs, have come in and absolutely lowered the boom on Alabama and looking for a little more here in the 7th.
Maloney, as of late, has just been seeing it, feeling it, and she's been a difference maker tonight. You see their first 21 games hitting 267, and she's really woken up.
Johnson makes the grab on Altmaier for out number 2.
Third baseman, number 24, J.C. Nichols.
Freshman versus freshman. Nichols singled and scored in the 3rd, popped up a bunt in the 4th, and was pinch hit for her, or I should say the last time her spot in the order was due up. Back to Palazzi. Throw to first, and Abby Dukeshire will end the inning. But Texas has scored again, another home run, and this time it's Katie Stewart.
Katie Stewart with a solo shot of her own. It has been all Texas. We'll see what Alabama can do, down 8 in the bottom of the 7th.
Trying to salvage a little something here in the bottom of the 7th, but it's been tough with that Texas power. 5 of the 9 runs have come via the home run ball, and Tegan Cavan has been unflappable. Efficient, 5 hits that have been sprinkled around, a bunch of strikeouts, 7 tonight, and quite a few to end innings. And most importantly, I think, Kaylee Tao, 0 walks, and she really hasn't fallen behind except maybe 1 or 2 times.
She has been so dominant, and when she's not giving up walks and making teams earn everything that they're getting, it's going to be very hard to put things together because of her spin, her movement, and she's been working that off speed a lot tonight, keeping these hitters off balance. She's just had all around her best stuff here in Tuscaloosa.
5, 6, 7 for Alabama. Texas has scored in 6 of the 7 possible innings in which they've hit tonight. Alabama scored in the 4th thanks to an RBI single from Marley Giles. Jam job to left. Altmaier will race in, and there's the first out.
We've seen Cavan with the strikeouts tonight, but we've also seen her do a lot of that, jamming up hitters, good location on her rise ball. She's able to work it right under their hands and get a pop out like that. Easy play for her defense. One
for 2 night for the freshman Ambry Taylor. Singled down the left field line in the 2nd, struck out in the 4th. Really the only inning where Alabama's been able to generate much momentum on this side. That was pitch 100 for Cavan. Got her. Strikeout number 8.
Again, Cavan using her off speed. She's gone to it a lot tonight, more than she typically does. And this one falls off the table, gets Taylor swinging.
You know, as hyped up as this series was, and again, you've still got 2 more games. Who knows what'll happen? This has been as loud a statement as you can imagine from number 1 Texas. Tegan Cavan doing it all types of ways and looking for that final out here to cap game 1 against a pinch hitter, sophomore Maddie Hubbard out of Huntsville, Alabama. .327 average for Hubbard. Had a home run last weekend, second of her career. Two. Got her looking. It's a Texas flex in game one. The Longhorns take down the Tide 9-1 in Tuscaloosa to start this series.
Tegan Caban just putting an exclamation point on a great performance tonight with her final strikeout. You see it here. She just freezes Maddie Hubbard on that outside corner, keeps this rise ball in the zone, and Caban had her best stuff all night long. She was sharp, she was efficient, and she gets the win.
Complete game victory with 9 strikeouts for Tegan Caban, and the offense certainly made a statement tonight. We'll come back on the other side and wrap things up from here in Tuscaloosa. Don't go anywhere as Texas wins game one.